Good evening, everybody. Today is Thursday, March the 9th, and we're here with Chris. Chris, do you have anything, any kind of announcement or anything you want to talk about?
No, just what I said. Friday, tomorrow evening, afternoon, I'm supposed to get a list of the first 24 participants in the very first bankers class.
All right, way to go.
So, like I said, the first couple classes is probably going to take about 7 to 8 weeks to get through. But after that, we should be able to shave a lot of stuff off.
Okay. I'm trying to find an area code here so that I can...
Tuesday night, I was talking to the people again about that were fighting their foreclosure.
Yeah.
And then there was 2 people that bought cars. And at first, the bank said that they would accept the checks that they printed out. This is that process where they're writing their own checks on their trust account. And a lot of people will say, well, if you're the beneficiary, how is it you can do that? Well, you're not doing it. You're giving it to the trustees, and they're the ones that's cashing it. Just like when you sign a beneficiary signature on your check. It's not you that's getting the money out of the bank or out of your account, but it's the trustees at the bank that are giving you the money out of your account. So at first they said that they would take it, and then they drove off the lot with 2 cars. One of them was a Cadillac. And then they came back and they said, no, we can't accept that or whatever. And they started talking about how they were going to repossess the cars and stuff, and then they served them. They served the bank that was financing. It was a finance type situation, but they paid it with the check. The bank said, "Well, we can't accept that." And after some servicing, some noticing, and things like that, they stopped. And I think they haven't heard from them in like 2.5 months.
Huh.
They were keeping the cars in their garage, because people were coming by and taking pictures. But one of the lady, the wife of this couple here, she showed what she did to her sister, and she said, my sister's just completely dumbfounded. Every time I pull up my sister's house, she's laughing. She can't believe that she bought a car from her trust fund like that. So those were some success stories that we talked about Tuesday night. If anybody's on here, they've heard those. You may have a couple of your people on here that actually heard that conversation Tuesday night. So these processes are starting to work.
All right.
But they have, like I said, they hadn't heard from them. And the thing on the foreclosure, the finance company, the guy that fought the foreclosure did a fantastic job. He really did his due diligence. Everything that they screwed up on, he was quick to point it out. And he just slammed this judge and this mortgage company's lawyer so bad that they said, well, we're going to break for lunch, and I don't think we're going to be able to conclude this today. So the judge, stopped, and within 2 days they got a notice from the court that the mortgage company did what was called a non-foreclosure, whatever that means. So, yeah, we talked a little bit more about that. Look, man, now you want to serve them. The thing about the lady, the cars were actually they're actually paid for. And they said, well, we got this letter saying that the balance is zero, so the cars are paid off, but we don't know what to do about the titles. I said, well, you don't really need them because possession is 9/10 of the law. I said, but if you really want them, why don't you just apply for a lost title? And when you do that, you apply for that lost title, they're either going to give you one that's open, or if there's still a lien on that title when you get it, you'll know that they're still trying to charge you for it. So they may do that, but you get a letter saying the loan is zero.
Wow.
That's pretty much it.
And that was using the 1099-A?
No.
Okay.
No, they were using the check process we talked about.
Okay.
It's not really checks. Treasury's the Treasury's calling them money orders.
Okay.
Because as far as they're concerned, that's what they are. But they're negotiable instruments, what they really are. You do that. We're the sole faith and credit. If you'll notice, let me break out Black's Law really quick. I found something here just recently about it that I thought was pretty interesting. If you get into Black's Law and you look up, let me see if I can get to it really quick here. This book's so big and thick and old. I bought this on eBay for $168, and it was used. And I got it from a Jewish lawyer, and I bought it on eBay. It used to belong to a Jewish lawyer. He put his name in his address in here. It's a New York address. So I got a New York Jew lawyer here, lawyer edition of Black Law. Let's see, account.
And what word are you looking up?
It's where did I see that? Accounts. Accounts payable. Okay. Accounts payable are contract obligations owned by a person on an open account. Okay. An open account. Okay, it's a contract obligation. It's owing by a person on an open account. And when you look up open account, an account which has not been finally settled or closed, but is still running or open to future judgments and liquidation. Open accounts in legal as well as ordinary language means an indebtedness subject to future adjustment and which may be reduced or modified by proof. Okay, that's from Black's Law 4th edition. But when you look it up in Black's Law, ninth edition.
Yes.
You get. I'm pulling
right.
Up. Wait. Ninth edition. Accounts payable. You get. This is the definition you get. Now they're showing me the different ones. Accounts. Yeah, maybe it might be a little easier to do it like this, because I think that's what I did. Definition. Account payable. I might be able to find it easier this way. Let's see here. What is accounts payable? Okay. Accounts payable is an accounting term used to describe the money owed to a vendor or supplier for goods or services. The sum of any and all outstanding payments owed by one organism. It's important to pay close attention. This isn't really what I was looking for. Let's see if I can try and just kind of paraphrase this. Here's the definitions and example. I was looking in the ninth edition. I can't seem to pull it up for some reason right now. But anyway, it was saying that in accounts payable, it's people think that the finance company or the mortgage company is the creditor, right?
Uh-huh.
So but really you're the creditor. Okay? So your statement shouldn't be in the positive. If it was money that you owed to them, it would be in the negative, and you would be paying it to zero it out. Right? Like your balance wouldn't say that you owed Capital One $4,200. It would say you owed them negative $42. Right? If you actually owed them. So it's been a little while since I looked at that, but I was thinking about, I'm like, that's completely odd. Because we're used to seeing ourselves, as the debtor.
Right.
When in fact we're the creditor. So it's not that any statement you get should be in the negative, and then you as the creditor should charge it off. You should charge it off through your Social Security account. Well, that's why I think it's beneficial, or it's kind of, when we start talking about sending the stuff to the Treasury and having them pay the bills, that it seems to be working better now. Because we're the creditor. The Treasury knows we're the creditor. The creditor knows we're the creditor. Or the so-called creditor knows we're the creditor. We're the only ones that don't know we are. Your statement should be negative, in the negative. If you owe them, the account that you're paying your money into, you shouldn't. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. If if it had the money in there and you made the payments, you would be paying it down like you do when you pay your mortgage, right? When you pay your mortgage, you send your monthly payment in, and your balance goes down, right?
Right.
Same thing with your credit cards. Everything's supposed to go down, but you being the creditor, it's supposed to go from the net. If you were actually the debtor, it would be in the negative, right? And I got to think about that. That's where this is really at. That's why it's important to realize that it's your money. You're the actual you're the one giving credit to the mortgage company. You're the one giving the credit to the finance company, to the credit card companies. You're the one giving them the credit. If that's the case, it should be in the negative, and then you pay. But it never is. It's always in the positive. I thought that was really that when I was reading about that, I thought, wait a minute. I was reading about accounts payable. My dad had a counseling center in Chicago, and he had accounts receivable. That's where he was, where he had clients come in there, and my dad was like, I get it. You don't have any insurance, but everyone should be able to have some counseling if they need it. It's my dad was at the Southside Christian Counseling Center. So he would bring people in here, and he would set up their visits. He was $98 an hour if it was an insurance company. But if you went in there and you didn't make a whole lot of money based on your income, you didn't make a whole lot of money, you might go in there and get an hour-long counseling session, only cost you $15.
Oh, wow.
Well, a lot of times he had people that owed him. He just kept seeing them anyway. You know what I mean? And at the end of the year, he'd take those accounts receivable and he'd write them off on the taxes. That's what they do. If you don't make your car payment, they come repo your car, they sell it. Or do whatever it is they're going to do with it. Who knows? But they're going to claim that you still owe that money. At the end of the year, they're going to write that off. They're going to write that off as accounts receivable. Then what they're going to do is they're going to sell that debt, which is supposed to be written off.
Right.
They're going to sell that to a collection agency. That's why you don't owe a collection agency shit.
Hey,
because
we need to send our conditional acceptances to a collection agency and have them collect.
That's a good idea. But when you do that, you're actually they might. You're actually selling them the debt for them to collect it for themselves. You know what I mean? If you and it's usually 10 cents on the dollar. If I've got a $100 million conditional acceptance, you're going to get $10 million. They're going to buy it. They're going to buy it from you.
I bet they'd probably pay less than that.
Yeah, they probably would, because see, it's already done. That's already done. You don't owe that anymore. If they've written it off on their taxes, then that's not money that's owed.
Chris, we need to figure that out with these collection agencies.
Yeah.
I talked to a woman today. Hold on. I talked to a woman today.
Yeah.
Her son is like 28 years old, trying to apply for a job. He's in the medical field, and they look at him and they say, "Sorry, we can't hire you. You're white." They're not supposed to discriminate. So if we can find a way to do these conditional acceptances and then send them over to a collection agency and actually have them start collecting, that would be awesome.
You are sending it to a collection agency.
Well, I mean to collect against their assets.
That's what they'll do. That's why when you do a conditional acceptance, you say you and your principal. If you put Circuit Court of Cocke County and you got 3 Circuit Court judges on there, if you're doing a conditional acceptance to 2 Circuit Court judges, you're also getting their principal, the Circuit Court of Cocke County or whatever county this is in.
Well, okay, so different collectors for different debtors. The court, I think the Treasury would be the better one to do, but say for an employer, if you could sick a third-party debt collector on them, I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, well, they would, if they were smart, they'd do like we do. I don't got a contract with you. I mean, that's what I do, You can actually, the third-party debt collector,
yeah,
you can actually tell them that that you do not want them to call your house anymore. And if they're going to contact you in any way, it needs to be with by mail.
Right.
Don't call my house anymore. You do, I'm going to charge you. I'm going to get you for phone harassing, because I don't have anything with you. You ain't got no contract with me. I've only had since 2015. I've only had one third-party debt collector call me twice.
All right. Hey, listen, we got some people waiting. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, 816 area code. You're first. Go ahead.
Okay, my name's Jim. I got a couple questions. First one is about court. I've been fighting these yahoos for about 3.5 years, and I've asked them for their oath of office. I've asked for a bar card. They refuse. In 2 visits to the court, they refused both times. And the judge and the prosecutor, I've proven on multiple times that they have no jurisdiction, and they never did to start with. But I can't get them. I'm not doing something.
Okay. Is that all?
Well, the other one is a.
No. I mean, is that all? You talking about?
Yeah, that's basically it on that one. Yeah, I mean, I've gotten copies of the transcript where they refused.
Yeah. Well, here's so you challenge. Look, I don't give a damn about your bar card. I don't want to hear your freaking oath of office either, because all you really need to do is challenge a jurisdiction, and challenge. If you've done it twice, that's it. You don't even need to go back, because twice now I've been in here. Get the transcripts twice. This is the second time I've been in here, and I only come in to challenge the jurisdiction. First off, stop calling it a court. It's an administrative tribunal.
I called it a circus Monday.
Yeah, it's an administrative tribunal. Excuse me, I'm here to challenge jurisdiction. Do you get paid by the state? Well, yes, I do. Do you get paid by the county? Well, yes, I do. Most of them are paid by the state. But if you ask either one of those, okay, if you get paid by the state, then you're getting paid. You're getting your money from a judicial or an executive branch of government. That proves right there there's not. Look, if courts were really judicial, okay, then you could say, "Let me see your oath of office." and let me see, all this other stuff. A bar card is a freaking membership card. It's an
I know
club,
it is.
and it's exclusive club. So,
yeah.
It's a monopoly. If you're going to mention the bar card, are you a member of the bar? You have to ask for a bar card. Say, are you a member of the bar? Yeah, I am.
No.
Well, how many bars are there in the state of Tennessee? Well, there's only one. Okay, well that's a violation right there against the Constitution of the state of Tennessee. It's a monopoly. Right? If there's only one, then it's a monopoly. And if your state constitution doesn't have it, there's a thing called the Sherman Antitrust Act, which is a federal law that says you cannot be a monopoly. Monopolies are not allowed. So that gets the bar completely out of there. But if it's an administrative tribunal, okay, it's not a court. It's not an Article III court. Is this an Article III court? Because I will challenge the jurisdiction to anything unless it's an Article III court. If it's an Article III court, you don't have to ask them for their oath of office. It would be on a freaking plaque right behind them. That would be visible. And you would have constitutional rights there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. It's an administrative tribunal that's after your trust. You were never charged with anything. I don't even know your circumstances, but I do know that you weren't charged. No more than you have a license. Mm-hmm. These are the things y'all need to get your head wrapped around. When you go in there a second time, hey, look, the only reason I'm here, I'm making a special appearance. I'm here to challenge the jurisdiction again. Are you going to answer the challenge of jurisdiction? Can you prove that this is an Article III? Is this a court of record? Is this an Article III court? When they say if they say it's a court of record, and you say, is this an Article III court? Are you an Article III judge? Because they're not. The Constitution says legislation shall have the power to create lesser tribunals inferior to the Supreme Court. Doesn't mean they're under it. It means they're inferior because the Supreme Court's supposed to be the only judicial
the only court
of the government.
Yeah.
It's the only Article III actual court. And then I'm not so sure about that because they have a gold fringe flag. That could even be questioned. But I would challenge the jurisdiction twice. Look at goddammit, this is the second fucking time I've been in here to challenge the jurisdiction, and you fail to answer it. Don't you fucking bother me coming down here again. I don't ever want to hear from this freaking bullshit kangaroo court or star chamber, called a star chamber court. Ever again. And then turn around and walk out. If it's on there, if they're actually recording it, go and get the recording.
Oh, I have the last three I've got. Well, the two before Monday I got, and then I'm supposed to pick up the one from Monday tomorrow, and that's when I really started punching with them, and that's when I called it. I've been dealing with this for 3.5 years. I've been dealing with this circus here for 3.5 years.
Yeah. Look, there's a video, y'all. It's on YouTube. It's a Brown judge or Brown administrative officer telling a lady it's a video hearing, and the lady's underneath the lady who's challenging the jurisdiction. It says "Shuri Juris in propria persona." That's how she actually typed in her name. When she got the link to come on to whatever it was, whatever conference call provider it was, it said "Shuri Juris in propria persona," and she challenged this Brown judge lady's jurisdiction, and she cut her mic off. And she started talking. this administrator said, look, if I thought for 1 minute that someone didn't have jurisdiction over me, I wouldn't even come.
Yeah. Well, the nice thing about me go ahead.
She was telling this lady that if look, I'm a judge, and if I didn't think somebody had jurisdiction on me, I wouldn't even show up. She's trying to argue, saying, look, because you showed up, you agree that we have jurisdiction over you. But she actually said, if I didn't think anybody had jurisdiction over me, I sure wouldn't show up. She's telling people, do not show up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you don't show up, I always show up because I say, look, I'm here making a special appearance. I'm only here to challenge the jurisdiction. I'm not here to answer any questions. I'm here to ask one, and that's, where's your jurisdiction? Prove you have it. Well, you're here, aren't you? Well, I'm here because I'm here under duress. Because if I don't, you'll issue one of your bogus warrants, and you'll come shoot me in my freaking car with your thug Gestapo police. So I'm here for that reason only. I'm here under fraud, menace, duress, and extortion. Now, answer the challenge.
Party was, and they
that doesn't matter.
One. Okay.
There isn't an injured. There's never. Why argue? Look, y'all. Why argue that? I've seen this all 100 times. If I've seen it once. Where's the injured party? Look, there is no injured party. There never is.
No.
You're there they're charging the trust. So if there is an actual injured party, the injured party is the trust.
Right.
It's not you.
Oh,
you're not the injured party. Look all these administrative tribunals are commercial. They're all commercial. They're all commerce. So even if it's a civil matter where it's John Johnson versus Christopher Hauser, it's still the trust. Because when you see that first page of the case, it's going to say John Johnson versus Christopher Hauser. Both those names are in all caps. Both of them are. And if it isn't John Johnson, it says the state of Tennessee in all capital letters. You can't injure a fictitious entity.
Right, which I've done
the
Minnesota
definition of injure. Yeah, so they're not gonna look at any of that. I wouldn't even argue it. I've got nothing to argue. When me and my friends did what we did, right? We went to prison. 3 of them are still there. But when we did what we did, we challenged the jurisdiction. That's why Tennessee says, "Oh, this is an extremely difficult case." I was on there, Tad. I was on the Tennessee. If you go on Tennessee Court or TN Court on YouTube, where you'll see those videos of the Supreme Court argument in the Court of Criminal Appeals. If you go on there and you click on videos, and then hit the button that says popular, arranged by popularity. Ours is right at the top, and the Supreme Court, almost 24,000 views. The next one, 16,000 views, and then below that is the third. We're first on the Supreme Court, and third on the Court of Criminal Appeals video. Right in between, the number 2 video is Megan Boswell. If you Google Megan Boswell she's going to trial in February of 25 for killing her 15-month-old daughter.
Wonderful.
Okay? Ours is more popular than a mama killing her baby.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
You know what I'm saying? She's charged with murdering her own baby. Yeah. Putting it in a garbage can.
Wow.
Yeah. The first video is ours. The second video is hers. The third video is ours. And the fourth video is hers. Even our appeals, Court of Criminal Appeals video is more popular than her second to the most popular video.
All right. So does that address your question?
And that's what that is. We challenge the jurisdiction. That's where that case is at right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I see.
So that covered the court case. The other question I have is, my mother's house just burnt, and she said she had a reverse mortgage. We haven't settled on that yet, but what's the shortcut to where we could just make that go away, the reverse mortgage part?
So they want you to pay the money they owe?
Yeah.
Your mother borrowed money from the equity in her house. My mom did the same thing.
Her last husband did, and forged her name. Now he's dead.
Yeah.
And she's stuck with it.
Yeah. And he forged her name.
Yep.
And he's probably the one that got the line of credit.
Oh yeah, he was addicted to that stuff.
Yeah. So how much? It's not even important how much he owes, because he really doesn't.
It's it's about
what about
half.
Yeah. It's have they tried to get the insurance?
Well, the insurance has been filed, and we're in the midst of part of that, and then part of the personal property money, and it just, we're 2 months into it and still haven't got anything but a $5,000 check, and the insurance is paying for her rinky-dink motel.
Yeah.
But I would love.
Yeah, that's probably what the reverse mortgage people are going to do. They're going to go after the insurance money from it,
right?
To pay that. That's kind of a tricky situation there. You could offer them a 1099-A. I'm assuming that, was she getting the coupons in the mail?
I believe so.
Making the month.
Yeah,
okay.
I believe so. I'll have to double check that.
You could use the remittance process to send them the coupon and the 1099-A. I'd send them both. I'd say, look, man, here's twice what's owed. Go ahead and get it.
Okay.
Because then you'll have, and when you do listen, y'all, when y'all do the remittance letter, put in there that they contractually agree to accept your payment. Okay? A lot of folks haven't done that. I think one of the examples that I shared, I had that in there. There's some verbiage that was similar to that. You got to put that in there, because see, all too often I hear, oh, they wouldn't accept my 1099-A, or they wouldn't accept my coupon, but they never return them. I've only heard one person have their remittance coupon returned to them. One. Mm-hmm. Everybody else is keeping it.
In other words, they're getting the money.
Then you would have, yeah, they are. They were trying that with these instruments, these instruments that that these folks are printing out, using their own Social Security, trust as the account number.
Right.
And they were sending them to the various creditors, or so-called creditors, and they were accepting them and zeroing the count, and then they were putting the money back on there a little later on. Oh, we can't accept this, but they are accepting them.
Yeah,
so
they are.
Put that verbiage in there that they're in the remittance. You're sending them a contract using the postal rule. This is you're getting this remittance letter by the postal rule. You can add the postal rule into the letter. If it's common law contract, you can do all that. You might as well say in there that they are accepting it. You will accept this. You will accept this as payment. And then let them say, "Oh no, we can't." Okay, you can prove that. Can you prove that you sent it back to me? Where is it now? Why haven't you sent this back? And by doing that, if they ever try and come after you for the money, you can say, "Look, I made an attempt to pay this before the insurance even settled." They're saying they wouldn't accept it, but they're also saying that they did because they never returned it. And let the judge that they file, if they file any kind of any kind of lawsuit,
claim on it.
Let the judge in there debate whether or not they were paid. Look, it's a coupon. It says coupon right on it. What's Black Law say about it? You got Black Law up there, don't you, Mr. Judge guy? Look up coupon and tell me that I didn't make them a payment. That they said they didn't accept, but they never returned. Logic and common sense is where you'll beat this stuff.
All right, so we got some other people waiting.
Okay, thank you.
All right, 510 area code. Go ahead.
Hey, how's it going, fellas?
What's up?
All right.
So, good. I have a couple of questions regarding the Treasury contract, Chris. First off, is the claim of lien, is it good to staple those documents together or leave them unstapled? Typically, instruments you don't staple, but I wanted to know in order to keep everything together, do you staple them?
Yeah. Did you? No, I've never stapled anything. You'll make a cover letter that you'll have like a table of contents on it, and in that you'll explain this is here, and on you'll have it all listed in order what you have in there. There's no need to do that. Now, if you're doing a claim of lien, okay, like we were doing those because we had multiple UCC1s and UCC3s. Those were included in the contract to the Treasury. So we were doing those, and we were monetizing them separately. By the time I got to prison, we weren't doing that because we weren't using the UCC 1 and 3 anymore. Because the actual lien security is the conditional acceptance. That's the underlying security.
I should not be doing the claim of lien at all then when I'm doing the conditional acceptance.
No, I wouldn't. That just complicates things. You want to make it. When we were in prison, we didn't want to complicate the process. So, and I really didn't want to do it either before we got in trouble, because I understood what we were really doing. The only reason we did the 1s and the 3s is because Gary thought that was the best way to notify all these people that we were doing this to them. We were going after their pocket, was to do the UCC 1s, because they would find out about that fairly quick. when they tried to utilize their credit. But that one, by the time I got to prison, I've been separated from the guys I was doing this stuff with and started talking to the inmates. An inmate told me, said, we can't do this UCC1 thing. We don't have credit cards, and we can't call directly, we don't have the internet, so we can't go on the internet and do these UCC1s. So what do we do? I said, give me a little hours, a couple hours to think about it, and I'll get back to you. I mean, within 45 minutes, I was going, hey, dude, this is what we do. Because the conditional acceptance is the underlying security agreement. When you monetize the back, if you're doing a conditional acceptance, the very last page, other than the exhibits, Exhibit A, B, C, that kind of thing, the last page, you'll have your wet signature on it, and you'll have it notarized, the wet signature notarized. If you take that last page of the conditional acceptance, flip it over, and you monetize the back, that page, the back of that last page, that's the underlying security agreement. That's actually the lien security.
Okay.
So you don't need to do you won't need to do those. Just monetize the back of the conditional acceptance, get your green cards together, make copies for your own record, and send the green cards along with the assignment agreement. Create the assignment agreement. Here, Janet Yellen, here is a negotiable instrument is what it really is. Underlying security agreement, lien security, whatever, however you want to call it. And assign that, every penny of that, to her. That's what the assignment agreement does. Then you do the contract.
Gotcha.
And in the contract you say, this is your money under contract, postal, that you agree that you get 35% if you collect. You got to give me back the rest. And that's how it'll work. It'll save you a lot of time and a lot of ink.
It'll save me a lot of time and some money, because all those notaries for the claim of lien. The question then is, I had spoken with you previously about the administrative process that I had done, but I used the claim of lien for that one because the only thing that I have that could be monetized, I guess, would be a notice of default, but I didn't call it a security agreement. So I went ahead and did a claim of lien and upset a few people, which was kind of cool. But they're not necessary, but I'm not saying you don't have to use it. I'm just saying it's simpler. It's simpler to not use it. I mean, as far as printing them out and having them notarized, and because what you're doing is you're monetizing that. That's what you're monetizing. I'm not saying don't do it. We didn't do it. Yeah, we didn't do them because we were in prison. Where you're making 17 cents an hour. I remember those days.
Yeah, I was just trying to do this easily and still get the point across,
So I have two things going on. I have one process that I did before I met you, which was the doing it under Title V, and I got all the way through the Title V process to the default judgment. Can I use the default judgment as a security?
Yeah.
Since it has
you can use anything. Yeah, you can use about anything as a security, man. Just by you putting your signature on it, it'll become monetize it.
Yeah, I guess it. Yeah.
Monetize it and try and use it, and Yeah, monetize it and try to use it. And look, man, and if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. It comes back on you. No, you can't. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they actually,
I'm never. If they don't, you know, they have accepted it. You see what I'm saying? This is all, you know, I'm not 100%. I'm not 100% sure what all you guys have done in the past to get where you're at. But look, man, do it. Do it. And if they accept it and it doesn't come back, it's a done deal. If it comes back and they say, oh, well, you know, you can't monetize this. We sent this back to you because you can't monetize it.
Okay.
Well, then you'll know.
Then I'll go ahead. Yeah, okay. Then I'll go ahead and use the notice of default for that and see what happens, because I do have that notarized with signatures on it, and I have a some certain.
Man, I would. I would.
Okay.
You know, here's the thing about it. You're going to succeed, or you'll succeed, or you'll fail. But even even sometimes failures, it's a part of the learning process, man.
Absolutely.
You know?
On the regarding the green cards, the return receipts, are those the only thing that we're sending, or are we also sending the receipt that we get on the day that we mail it, that we rip off the bar card?
No, you keep that. You keep that. You keep that. That's your receipt from the postmaster. That's what you keep. Right. Now, what's happening now, y'all, is a lot of people are getting when they're sending their green cards in with the contract, the Treasury is sending them back. They take one look at it and they say, yeah, this is a contract. Here's the signature card. It's genuine. It's wet signature. It's a wet ink signature. Yeah, this is real. Then they make a copy of it, put it in their records, and they certify the copy. I've seen this. I've seen the original, and yes, it is in fact. And then they put their signature on it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then they're sending them back. People are getting their green cards back. Why? Because they're yours. They actually belong to you.
So on the administrative part of my presentment to the actors, do I need to send any of the other documents that, the notice of fault, the notice of notice of fault, opportunity cure, and all the other notices as attachments, or can I just send the notice of default, securitized,
I would make copies of all originals, and then I would send the originals.
Okay, from the beginning, then, is what you're saying.
I would. If you're going to add that into the contract, you can take the process that you did, and before you came across our stuff, and you can add your stuff to the contract, your prior, your pre-Christopher Hauser education or whatever you want to call it, and add that to the it's your contract, man. Yeah. Word it the way you want to. Okay. Assign that. Yeah. Hey, assign that to Janet Yellen too.
Do they get weird about page size? Because we were doing these on 8.5 by 14 on legal size paper. Do they get weird about differing page sizes?
They won't care.
Okay, that's good to know.
They won't care.
All right, and then on that particular process, we have what's called progressive filing, which is you send your first notice, and when they don't respond, you send the second one, but you attach the first one as an attachment, and then when they fail to do that, you send the third one with the other two as attachments, and it becomes a very heavy file. So my thought is to just send one bundle of attachments because they're repetitive, and then just put a cover page on that saying that these are the attachments that are applicable to all of these filings or something like that. They're referenced within the document.
Yeah. You only need to send stuff like that twice. Then after that, you can default. You know,
right. Well, with the default, I didn't send all the documents back. I sent the notice of default or the notice of default judgment along with an affidavit that nobody's rebutted.
Yeah, I've talked to a few folks that have done that. Say that last sentence.
So we got some people waiting.
Got you. I understand. Last week, I did my mortgage back in 2002. By the way, I used a bill of exchange. I had a nice little letter-writing campaign for about 6 months, and then they left me alone. I had the house for 2 years before I was picked up. So I am very, very uniquely and keenly aware of how the banks operate in that regard.
Yeah, it seems like cars.
Seems like the lady that was speaking on Tuesday night regarding her car, I did kind of the same thing. I got a 30 or 90 day with zero interest, and in that 90 days I put together my little package. I ended up going to court, and the judge just looked at me and said, "Can't you just give him the car back?" I said, "Why would I give my property back?" And that was the end of it. He just looked at the lawyer. I walked out of the courtroom. Got my car. It's great.
Yep.
Anyways, I will yield. Thanks, fellas.
All right. Thank you. Okay.
All right. Thanks a lot.
760 area code. Go ahead.
Hey, this is Shelley. I talked to you guys 2 weeks ago regarding my franchise tax board problem, if you will. And I did what you said, Chris. I sent it directly this time to the franchise tax board instead of to the IRS, in care of the franchise tax board. And I got a call from a person there that said, we cannot accept this money order. It's not acceptable. And I asked to speak with a supervisor, which I did, and she said the same thing. And she said that we will proceed with collections. So, what do you recommend?
Did you send it back?
No. Did they send my negotiable instrument back? No.
So they kept the negotiable instrument.
Yep. I've done this twice. Remember, I did it first to the IRS with the franchise tax board in the memo section, and they said they couldn't accept that. And then I did it the second time, like you suggested, 2 weeks ago, and I sent it directly to the franchise tax board. And they called me immediately. I was quite surprised. But so, no, I have received nothing back.
You owe me $500, and I accept your check. You send me your check. And I tell you I can't accept this check. Then I don't
say
send
that
it
again.
Back. You owe me $500, so I'll send me your check. You send me a check, and I say I can't accept this check. But I'm going to keep it.
Got it. Okay. So is that how
Does that make any sense at all?
Well, no, it doesn't make any sense, and we know what they're all about, but I just didn't know where to go from here.
Where's my negotiable instrument if you're not accepting it?
Okay.
If I hand you something, here, accept this ink pen from me, and you take it in my hand, and then you walk away and you say, I can't accept this, but you don't ever give me back the pen. Have you accepted it?
Take them to court, sue them for it.
Really?
Okay, look, you have accepted it. And if you send it to them certified mail, they contractually accepted it.
Yeah, I did send it to certified mail, so they have all that information.
We got a contract. Did you leave a date on it?
Did I put a date on the money order?
Did you date the letter that you sent them and give them a certain amount of days?
No, I did not do that.
Okay, they got 45 days.
They have 45 days?
They got 45 days. They got 45 days to send your negotiable instrument back, or they have accepted it.
Okay. That's good to know.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
You can't call me and say, we can't accept this, and then keep it. If they keep it, if you don't get that back in 45 days, and I mean everything back in 45 days, you have a common law contract, them agreeing that they did in fact accept it.
And then what do I do at that point if they haven't sent anything back?
If they try and if they haven't sent anything back, then they have agreed. You can call them back and say, you know what, I sent you this in common law contract. We had a common law contract, and you called and said that you can't accept it, but by all definitions you have.
Okay.
So what you're saying to me was a fraud. What you said to me on the phone was fraudulent. That's fraud. And you have my EIN or my Social Security number or whatever it is that you gave them. That's trust fraud. That's felony. Oh, yes, you will, and you did in fact accept that negotiable instrument. You guys, man, I'm telling you, these negotiable instruments that you guys are creating, the 1099-A is a negotiable instrument. The coupon's a negotiable instrument. Look up the definition of negotiable instrument.
So how about sue them for the return of the instrument or the settlement and closure of the account?
I don't know why you're paying taxes anyway.
Well, she's in the pickle, so sue them to return the instrument, or they need to adjust the account by the amount that was tendered as per the contract.
Okay.
That's just my 2 cents. Now, how you actually go about doing that, I don't know.
Okay. You know what's interesting about this is before they started threatening me, they actually did send me to a collection agency, and the name of the collection agency is called ConServe, of all things. And a month later, it said that the Franchise Tax Board has submitted your account to us, which I thought, woohoo! Now I don't have to worry about them going in and stealing money out of my account and all that stuff, which they have already done before several years back. But anyway, and then a month later, I get another message from the ConServe that says your account has been sent back to the Franchise Tax Board. Have you ever heard of anything like that before? Isn't that strange?
It is odd.
I even asked the person I was speaking to there why, and they've said they've never heard of anything like that before, ever.
All right, so
hey, check it out. Check this out. Negotiable instrument, Black's Law. Any written securities which may be transferred by endorsement and delivered, or by delivered merely so as to vest in the endorsee the legal title and thus enable him to sue thereon in his own name, or more technically, those instruments which not only carry the legal title with them by endorsement or delivery, but carry as well, when transferred before maturity, the right of the transferee to demand the full amount which their faces call for. A negotiable instrument is a written promise or a request for the payment of a certain sum of money to order or bearer. Okay? That's it, man.
Okay.
All these things that you guys are writing up and signing, there it is. It's in this dictionary. I don't even know how long it's been used like that. This was 1951. Copyright 1891. 1910, 1933. It's kind of funny, isn't it? So the fourth edition is 1951. So
yeah,
that's how long it's been what it is.
So there you go.
And it even says in there, it even says suit.
Yep.
Okay.
That's what it is. It can't be by definition. Look, I sent him a negotiable instrument. Is it not? Then read the definition. I'm telling y'all, man. Spend a little time.
Hold on.
Spend a little time reading in those dictionaries, man.
And it was not returned for a defect. For any, they did not cite any defect in the instrument. They kept it.
Yeah, they kept it, and they didn't say why. They didn't tell you why, did they?
No.
No, we can't accept this. Oh, you did, buddy. You did.
Okay.
So either return the instrument, return the amount that was on the instrument, or credit the account for the amount that was on the instrument.
But let that 45 days lapse. You'll have them by contract law. You will have them.
Okay. That's
All
good
right.
to know. Perfect. Can I have a really quick question? Okay, it's just a simple one. So when we use our beneficiary autograph for everything pertaining to monies only, correct?
I would use it for anything pertaining to your trust.
For the trust. Okay.
Yeah, beneficiary is a title, like DDS or PhD or that's my title, beneficiary. Is this a beneficiary? Is this a trust action? Just about every damn thing out there is a trust action.
Okay.
Even if it's not,
using that,
use it anyway.
Okay.
I'd use it
I
anyway.
can use it on anything.
On everything.
Okay.
The only thing I don't use it on is birthday cards. Birthday cards.
No,
I don't use it on.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that either.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, 570 area code. Go ahead.
Hey guys, it's Lisa here again. Okay, Chris, I got a question about Social Security. They sent me a thing stating that about my Medicare that I'm going to have to stop paying it and they're going to take it out of my money. Now they just increased my money. Now I haven't paid Medicare A or B in since I've been disabled. What is this all about now? And can I go into the Social Security office and ask if they could take it out of my trust?
The increase that they gave you was cost of living. Biden went, oh yeah, we did y'all a big favor.
Right.
We gave you a 7.8% increase across the board. Then eggs freaking tripled.
And then B, okay, yeah, true that, and then B is more money than what they gave me for increased living.
Yeah.
That they're going to be taking out.
Yeah, way more. I'd say.
Right.
So it's not logical that giving you what little bit of increase it was is going to increase your disability to the point where, look, I get disability from Social Security and the VA. And I'm not paying any Medicare.
Okay.
Matter of fact, they signed me up on Medicaid.
Well,
they said,
I get Medicaid.
In Tennessee, you get Medicaid.
I get Medicaid also. See, now, like I said, I moved from PA to Jersey. When I first initially went to the Social Security down here, you can walk in. You don't have to make no appointments, no nothing. You can walk in. So I walked in, and I didn't have a copy of my Social Security card. So I didn't have my Social Security card. I couldn't find it. I just moved, all my paperwork, blah, blah, blah. But, again, I asked the lady, can I have a copy of my Social Security card? She goes, no, we don't do that. I said, okay, well, I don't want one. I have one in my belongings. And the second question was, I said to her, am I going to have an increase in living? Because from PA to Jersey, it's a lot more money. She said yes. I didn't even get an increase of living, well, besides of what they give you, that 8% every a couple of years. Here she gave me another Social Security card. I got that within a day. not even a day. I didn't even ask for that Social Security card, right? I only asked for a copy. I told her, no, I don't need one. I don't want another Social Security card. First off, I just don't want another Social Security card. She didn't ask why or nothing. But then she sent me one. But she didn't send me any letter stating that I'm going to get an increase or nothing. So the months went by, and now I received this Part B thing. I never paid any Medicaid A, and I never had to pay A and B for all these years I was disabled. Yeah. Now this came about.
Yeah, I tried talking to him first and tell him, look, I'm the beneficiary. Am I not the beneficiary? Says it right on the back of the freaking card.
Right.
If I'm the beneficiary, this is not beneficial.
Committee. Okay.
You're malfeasant in office to make me pay for a benefit. That's malfeasance, man. Anybody that's even having to pay it ought to be able to bust in there and say something like that.
Okay.
So I would question them, first of all. Look, man, am I not the beneficiary? Okay, if I'm the beneficiary, then you're the trustee. Are you not the trustee? Yeah, you are. They're not going to get it because they don't know trust law.
That's in the office.
You're the beneficiary. Yeah, they're going to say you're the beneficiary. They don't even know what that freaking word means. Most of them don't. Especially the peons working in the front office. Go in there and tell them you want to talk to the supervisor. And put the supervisor in the spot that they are a trustee.
Right.
And to charge me for something that you previously weren't charging for, and for all of a sudden now you're charging me for a cost of living increase that wasn't even beneficial.
Right.
I would do that. I would do that first. Put them in the spot. Most of the time, when you put the trustee in the spot, you can do it nicely.
I know.
Now you do know that you're the trustee now, right, ma'am? And so you have to do what's beneficial for the beneficiary. It's not, if not, you're really flirting on the edge of a fraud charge. Yeah, I would say something like that. You'd be nice about it, but I tell you what, you probably get something done.
Well, if I'm going, because like I said, they have no appointments, no nothing. You can go in and sit and wait with your number, and then ask for a supervisor, and then ask these questions. Because that lady kind of played stupid. Yeah, because she was typing away, and all she was doing, she was just typing me up another Social Security card. That's all she did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she wasn't stupid. She wasn't playing stupid. She wasn't playing stupid. She really was. You haven't been in Jersey too long, have you?
No, I haven't. No, just a year.
I didn't hear you once say there's a blade on the coin and he's choiping.
No, I'm originally from Brooklyn though, so but anyway, I ain't no Jersey girl. But again, that's what I mean. This money, they didn't even take it out. It says that they took it out for March, and I was supposed to get this amount, but they didn't do it for March. And then they say after that.
I would get down there soon.
Yeah, I will.
Get down there soon.
Okay, and about this other incident with the I'm doing Lions conditional acceptance, and well he got. After he said about him being a sovereign, he got a thing saying that not even 2 days later, because now, mind you, I told you his hearing's in 4/24 next month. Here he got he has to go for a virtual thing on the 20th of this month. So now I got the conditional, we got it all notarized, everything, and I think that address, your email that I had, I think it was that other guy's, because I want to send you something. I asked Tad, but I guess I sent it through the call here, Tad, and I guess you didn't get it, but I really like to get your email. So if I could text Tad later on, if I can get that, or if you can give it to me.
My email is C-A.
Capital? Just regular. C-A.
Yeah, capital C, capital A. That's Charlie Alpha. Capital H, Hotel. AUSER
Hotel, like capital A. Go ahead.
Yeah, capital. I'm speaking phonetically. Capital C, capital A, capital H.
Okay.
A-U-S-E-R.
A-U-S-E-R. Okay.
Yeah, it's Christopher Allen Hauser at protonmail.com.
At what? I didn't hear you.
Proton Mail.
Okay, Proton. Okay.
Mail.
Okay.
Protonmail.com.
.com. Okay, so now this virtual thing, I'm thinking they don't want him in this tribunal thing on 424. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if they know if he's claimed sovereign and they set him up for that, they want to do that so that they can not have people hearing what he's saying.
And in the court, right?
I would have him call down there. I'd have him call down there, and I would say, "Look, I'm not up for no virtual.
Okay.
This COVID bullshit's over."
All right, because I wrote in the conditional acceptance that he's out of state. We're going to be out of state because I have surgery on that date. So also, I'm going to get a copy of that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He would be better off send that. If they've already got it scheduled, and you call down there and say, "Look, I'm entitled to my day in court. This is not a day in court.
Okay.
I'm not in court by doing this virtual bullshit. In the virtual court, you don't have the right to be heard.
Right.
If you can cut off my mic, then I don't have the right to. Then I'm not having the right to be heard.
I agree.
And he's not going to. They're gonna probably try and put a lawyer on him.
Yeah, he doesn't. He didn't even get a lawyer. Of course, they added a DWI charge on him also. It went from speeding to DWI to reckless to
careless driving.
There's about 10 charges now added to all the speeding ticket. Yeah. So this is crazy.
He didn't get charged. He didn't get charged with anything. His trust did. His trust did.
Thank you very much, sir.
No, that's cool.
Yeah, you don't. You guys
so
need to realize that. Stop talking like I'm trying to tell you to stop calling it a court and call it an administrative tribunal and stop saying I did this and I got that. You didn't get jack shit. It's your trust that's being charged.
Right.
Tell them you want your day. You want your day in court.
Okay.
I'm sovereign and I will be challenging jurisdiction.
Thank you very much.
Video shit, it has no more power than the camera at the stoplight.
Okay. So this letter's going to go out before the date of the virtual. Is that it's included in that I put this virtual thing? He's not even in state. We're not even going to get it out.
I'd get that conditional acceptance dated 15 days prior to this virtual thing.
Well, yeah, we have that. We have that already.
And then I would call. That way their 10 days is up before the virtual hearing. And then I would call down and say, "Look, no, I want my day in court."
Okay.
There's things that I need to say, and I can't say them when I got some prick in a black robe freaking shutting me off.
Right. Okay.
I'm going to be heard, and I guarantee you when you get a physical court tribunal date.
Well, we do have that. It's on the.
You're going to be the last one.
Okay.
You're going to be the last one heard that day. Take a lunch because you're going to be there all. You'll be the last one heard.
Right.
Okay, but even with this conditional acceptance, they're still going to put us in that date, that 4/24.
Well, the live date. If you get that in there and it's served on them before the court date, their 10 days are up. You can go in there for two reasons now. One is to challenge his jurisdiction, and two, where's my money?
Okay. All right.
When you do this, when you do this and you get it in there, and their time is up, they're also going to be owing you money. So the judge will be biased. The court will be biased because he went after its principal too. Even if they put another judge on you.
Okay.
You wait a minute. You owe me money. How are you going to sit up there and freaking judge over me?
Right.
You're biased.
Okay.
The whole court is biased. So I'm here to challenge jurisdiction and get my money. Who's writing the freaking check? And see how fast they don't put you out.
Okay, yeah, they're going to kick him.
I thank you very much, sir.
That's awesome.
All right.
Okay, so like I said, we'll have it all out before. We'll have the virtual.
Yeah, do. Yeah,
we'll have it out before the virtual or the date.
And I'll definitely come back on and let you know how everything went.
Yeah, let's know how you went. Have fun.
All right, thank you. All right, guys. Good night.
Okay, Ronald. Okay, go ahead.
Hi, guys. Well, I did a 1099, and I went to the dealer. I made an appointment, text back and forth, and a few emails. And I even filled out the IOD, the 96, and the 1040B for them. But they even said no. The only thing that I did forget was to take pictures of the paperwork I signed.
Yeah, you
Can
need
I
that.
still do huh?
Yeah, look, that's probably one of the most important things you need to do when you do this. If you don't have a picture of this beneficiary signature, all they have to do is shred the thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they even took copies of the 1099, the IOD, the 96, and the 40B.
OID.
Yep, OID. Mhm. And they took copies of it, and they kept everything.
Yeah.
And I hadn't got a call
But
back.
see, without that application with the beneficiary signature, that right there is proof that they created a trust action. It doesn't matter what all you've given them. If you can't prove that, then it's hard to say that you didn't sign it with a regular, authorized representative signature.
Yeah, because I was going to head over there tomorrow and say, hey. Yeah, go ahead.
No. You can do that. You can go back to them and say, look, I
was going to ask them for copies.
I need my paperwork back.
Yep, everything I signed, I needed back.
Yeah.
Because I went last Friday. So.
Yeah, that's what I'd do. Go back, get the paperwork.
Yep, that's what I was thinking of doing.
All right.
You want to do the condition?
Yep.
If you can get the application, say, look, I need all the paperwork back. If you can just get the application where you signed it, beneficiary, that proves that the trust action was created. I would try that.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do tomorrow then. I'll go do that because I was really looking to see if they would say no so I can go and see if I can file to start doing the bank stuff with you.
Yeah, man.
That's what I was trying for because that way I can help out a lot of people. I'm the contractor that calls you sometimes over with Jay. But I'm filing some stuff for some people to help them out on their home.
Yeah.
Yep, so that's me.
Yeah.
And I was trying to do this so I can, and I was hoping they said no so I can get to the bank system so I can help out a lot more people. But I think I messed up on one part, but I didn't get.
That's all right. You learn. Man, you learn.
Yep,
this isn't easy to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
You know, I've done my share of forgetting to do things with the paperwork and forgetting to send things in the paperwork. I've done my share of that.
Yeah.
So it's all part of the process to learn it, man. Just keep plugging away at it. That's the best way to do it.
Sure do. Well, I want to offer you and Ted guy, if you guys run into any constructions like you did that one time that you had that bad back, I sent you an email and telling you that I'll help you. It doesn't matter. I just need that you tell me where to stay in the hotel, and I will help you. And that's for you too, Ted.
Well, I appreciate it.
So what?
Yep.
Are you a contractor or builder?
Yes. I'm kind of.
Contact me through the website. YouHaveTheRight.com.
I belong to you guys, but I haven't contacted you. But yeah, if you guys need help, you tell me. And
contact me through the website. I'll talk to you.
I will do that. Okay, sounds good. Thanks, guys, for all your help, and chat soon. Y'all take care, and God bless you.
Yeah, bless night, bro.
509 area code. Go ahead.
Hi, Chris and Tad. I wanted to ask about, now you guys were talking earlier about the liens and that, so that you have to use the conditional acceptance that you have instead of, I thought, when I was looking at the videos, I will rewatch them, but I thought that you said something about you make up the lien and then you're right on the back of it. Maybe I was wrong, but see, because I filed a $150 million lien against the treasurer of County of Benton because he didn't have I know what you've talked about the bonds and stuff, but this guy was never in office. This bond was issued supposedly 3 years ago, but it was never properly wrote up. I mean, like it had his name in Ken Spencer, where it just said the state of Washington. And he just got elected for a new term, and he didn't have a new bond or oath of office. They didn't give me one, and the assessor didn't either. So I was just wondering about the proper procedure for the liens, and I have a copy of the conditional acceptance, so I'll go over it and draft it up if that's what you say.
When you watch the videos, you'll see me explaining the claim of lien. It's a 2-page document, and then I show the back of the second page in the video. That's not necessary. We monetize those based on, when I was doing this, I had 9 people and 2 businesses, or principals. And I had 12 UCC1s and 12 UCC3s. So by doing that, we did these individually. When I could have just did $144 million and monetized the back of the conditional acceptance.
Yeah.
And by doing that, to monetize the back of anything, if you watch that video where I'm showing the claim of lien, and you look at the last page I hold up, it's got just a very little bit of stuff, and it's a signature, a social security number, and the all caps name, and then the count number. And if you look at that, that's all you need to do. You do that to the back of the last page of the conditional acceptance, and what you did is you monetized the underlying security agreement, which is the conditional acceptance. You send that, and that is a lien. That is the claim of lien. The conditional acceptance is the claim of lien. That's where you're claiming the lien at. That's where the lien's going to be claimed at in the final pages of your conditional acceptance.
Okay.
Where you're saying, if on the other hand, you don't meet these conditions, then you give me your power of attorney to create this claim lien. It's right there in the back pages of the conditional acceptance. And all it is a claim lien. The actual lien will be done by the treasurer and the secretary of the treasury.
Yeah. So this was I'm just theorizing. I haven't done this, but what I had happened, these guys, they've already been warned and made aware of this fraud in relation to my land. Just in case you didn't, I guess I didn't say my name, just Sherry Elizabeth, for Scully on YouTube. Anyway, so basically, what I had planned to do was, like I said, I went to the Colorado Secretary of State, and I filed the notice of lien through Colorado, because that's the hub for the western part of the country. And so what I was planning on doing is just flipping over the back of it that shows that it's got the number, and write on it why I created this notice of lien, and go get it notarized. Make a at the bottom of the paper for a place for the notary, and have the notary put their stamp on it, and in a letter explaining to Janet Yellen why I'm submitting this for her collection, because they've taken federal grant money. They're trashing the United States Code. They're not honoring anything for the people, and especially like next week they're going to get another appearance by being and explain to them, hey, okay, I'm going to serve them a notice that they're under a criminal act right now under RCW 9A for official misconduct, because they are allowing the mosquito district to raise the levy when they've already been told by the opinion of the Attorney General back in the 1960s that they had to have a levy. They had to have a levy like fire and school to raise it up, but they're not doing that, and they haven't done that ever. So we've got 40 years of a trespass going on against the landowners, and they've really pushed it up. I mean, they've raised it up. See, it's $33 now. That number is not a mistake. So it was $4 11 years ago. So it's jumped that much, and they really did the price hike in 2016. Anyway, I know there's other people that want to talk, but I'm going to go in there.
Is that $4? Is that like $4 per acre or something?
No. It's $4 per landowner. Okay, so everybody.
Oh, okay.
So when you think it went up $33, now that's $33 per landowner in the county of Benton without having the authority to do so. The $4 was okay.
Yeah, it wasn't.
But the opinion of the Attorney General specifically told, and this county and Franklin County were told specifically by John O'Connell, the Attorney General, that the only way you can raise that above that threshold is to have a vote by the people, by the voters, the electors, and you're going to need about 5% for it to pass, and they've never done that. So I've got multiple points that I can. Janet Yellen, there's nobody here. There's nobody here in Washington that's in control. They are all. It's a free for all over here, and because I reported this to the auditor, the state auditor now, okay, and she didn't do nothing. Okay, now this comes back to the jurisdiction everybody was talking about earlier. So we know that they're corporations and they're self-governing, and they only self-govern at the point of their incorporation. So really, in theory, the state of Washington only exists in Olympia. And same thing, because and the reason why I say that is that if the auditor up there didn't have any authority to come down here and tell them anything, they want us to think that, but that's not the way it really is. And the state auditor here, she wouldn't do anything either, because I was trying to get everything corrected, and I've got a video about that, and she didn't want to do nothing. I mean, it was ridiculous what went on. And anyway, so I'm wondering now, who do you think besides Janet Yellen? Because, see, I've already done a 3949, and it got received, a big, nice packet to a special agent over there in Ogden, Agent Wright. And I'm just asking for prayers from everyone to please pray that Agent Wright, Brian Wright, will do the right thing. I'm not trying to be funny.
Do the right thing,
he will come down on these guys, because, Chris, there's 40 years of the people out here where I'm at on Red Mountain, there's elderly people. You know, there's people they're robbing.
They probably think they got it. They probably think they got it grandfathered in now, and nothing can be done about it.
Well, that's okay. I gave them the recording that proved that, and they sure didn't want to see that. I handed that to them. I started eating just like you did.
No, you know.
I said, I told them, I said, I got a question for you. Are you incorporated? And Jerome Delvin, the one that's been in office so long, he looked both to the left and right and goes, well, yeah, I guess we are. And I go, yeah, I know you are because I got your DUNS number. And yeah. Anyway,
hey, you know what you might want to do, seeing how this is a communal problem. Do a class action conditional acceptance.
Class action. I'm gonna write that down. Class action. Yeah, but you know what? I'm not trying to be a poobah. You know, I can't. These people are, like you say, they've been conditioned, and it's like, okay, I tried to share this with my neighbor, and he didn't want to. They want to believe that they're in Benton City. When Benton City, there's a river between here and Benton City, and there's 12 miles. They're not in Benton City. We don't get to vote. You know what I mean? But they're accepting that. And see, that was the one thing, and this is one I'll close right out here because I know there's others. But I could not handle having to write down when I needed to write down my address on anything to say Benton City because I knew it was wrong. And then I found the paper, that recording that I handed to them commissioners, and it's under their seal, and it says there's no tax parcels on Red Mountain acreage. They're in a lot of trouble because Agent Wright's got that very same thing under seal.
Well, we'll be praying for y'all out there.
Okay. Well, thanks, Ted. Thanks.
All right. We'll pray that they do the right thing, man.
And
but
Ted,
I do a conditional acceptance. I get about 10 people together. 10 people together that ain't scared. That are mad about this.
Well, yeah, we're going to do that about the mosquito. Me and this other friend, Kat, we're going to do the thing against the mosquito district. We're going to bring that up next week, too. But anyway, if you can, Tad, pass Chris those 2 little short videos if you could.
If I can figure it out. All right.
Yeah,
thank you.
Telegram. Right. Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Chris.
You're welcome.
Okay. Burrill.
Thank you, Tad. Thank you.
Burrill.
Can you hear me?
Don't tell me to call you anymore. It doesn't work. My calls don't go through to you. They ring, they stop ringing, it never gets through, okay? I can't call you, so don't tell me to call you anymore.
I don't know what the problem is, but I do have a new phone coming because I'm getting other calls.
Okay.
I wonder if you're calling the right number. But anyway.
I hit call back, all right?
Oh, well, I don't know. Like I said, I have a new phone coming because of that.
So, Chris, this is the gal that has the inventor guy that has this new financial system, and she's trying to get a hold of you.
Okay.
This is Granny.
Okay, yeah.
So if you can make this quick, please.
Well, I have several questions. So about that issue, can you allow me to contact you, Chris, and you contact me through Tad?
Yeah. Yeah, I will. I think it. Wait a minute. I'm about to lose my earbuds here.
You have my email address, and I usually put Granny.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll email you. Here, I'll tell you what. I'll email you my phone number. Okay.
Okay, and I can give you my phone number. I can give you 2 of them, and Tad for you too.
Yeah, don't do it on this.
Don't do it on here. Okay, Granny. Go ahead and send me your. Go ahead and send me your.
My email, my phone number's on all my emails, but I'll have the.
Yeah. So, Chris, if you can find her email.
Yeah, I'm looking through it right now. I think I started.
Okay, I have other question while you're looking for there. I have a friend who turned 65 on Saturday, and I've told her, what you said about collect it on the day they turn 65 and not to do anything on that day that would, don't give their Social Security number for anything, not if asked to access the bank on or anything. The only thing is, what does she do? She can't go there because they're closed on Saturday. So what can she do on her 65th birthday with them being closed?
She can't make it through. She can't make it through. She can only go on Saturday?
No, she could go like tomorrow. But I didn't know. I thought she had to go on the 65th day.
No, that's the best time to go. Is on the day of your birth at 65. That's the best time to go, so there's no chance of you using the number. Okay?
Right. Okay.
So, right your phone.
Oh, Chris, you're breaking up. Darn it. Chris, go back to your position. You're breaking up.
Wouldn't you know it?
Okay, how's that?
Oh,
Is that
much
better?
Yes.
There you go.
I had to hold the phone down here so I could write it down. I got your number. Okay.
Okay.
What they need to do? Here's how you guys need to do this. Okay, if you're going to do this at 65, go as soon as possible once you turn 65. Go down there in the morning time. Try and be the first one through the door. Let them know, or take someone with you that if you really got to take a number, take somebody with you that can put your number in there. That way you're not using it. You got a daughter or son go down there with you, or anybody, a significant other. Let them do it if they have to have a number. If you're the first one in there, I'm the first one here. Who do I need to talk to? And what you want to do is you want to get with the supervisor. You go in there and you see one of the peons, or the first people you see, one of the first workers, and you say, I turned 65. My Social Security account has matured. I need to speak with the supervisor. I need a private meeting with the supervisor. And then get in the supervisor's office and go, look, I don't want to sign up. I don't want to recontract. I don't want to sign up for benefits. I'm here because the trust has matured. I want an on-ledger and off-ledger account of the trust since its inception and a check for the balance. Now, you're going to get a shuck and jive. But you got to be persistent. Once you do that, it's on. It may take some time to actually fight through it. That's what I was going to do.
Okay, now.
But you'll start with the supervisor.
Okay, I got that. I'll have to re-listen to this to get it all down. And she knows nothing about anything, like most people. So, but she's the mother of a friend, and I want to help him out. So, if I can. I mean, I didn't know to do that. So, but and they're from Mexico, but they've been naturalized. So. Nevertheless, they've been paying. So, okay. Next question. With the woman from Washington State, that's actually where also what I sent you. But I need to ask you a question because I'm sure I'm not the only one that's done this. I must have made a huge mistake because I didn't know different, but on this non-judicial foreclosure that took place on my home in Walla Walla County, I read the documents, the note and the deed of trust that my son signed, and I saw so many problems, and they, like most people, Washington is a non-judicial foreclosure state, so they say in their code that, and all I followed was their code to find what they did wrong. And I started enumerating everything, every detail I could find that they did wrong, but mostly that there wasn't any, the one that was trying to collect had no place in the title and all of that stuff. They violated so many of their codes, and they didn't cash a payment. Now, just take this without everything that we were learning from you now, and Tad knows, but just on the basics of just normal, by their code type of thing, they didn't deposit a payment check and then held us responsible that we didn't pay. And I asked them over and over again to send me a copy of that canceled check, and they never could. But yet they got away in the court. The judge was absolutely crooked. I kept calling them on the points. I sent you a piece of the documents.
Yeah.
And so, is there anything? And I know a lot of people have been hurt by the same kinds of frauds that may be on this call, or that have friends and family who have been hurt the same way. What do you suggest in a case like that? I mean, just generally speaking, and how would the conditional acceptance help in that?
You've already lost the property, right?
Say that again.
Have you already lost the property in foreclosure?
Well, somebody else is in it, but I never consider it lost. Yeah, they did. The judge allowed them to do a foreclosure. That even when they removed the case, Chase was who I was dealing with.
I would do it.
Chase removed it too.
I would do a W-4. I'd do a W-4. Anybody that's lost a home for foreclosure.
Say that again.
If you've lost a home for foreclosure through the foreclosure process, I would actually do a W-4 on that case.
Oh, yeah, I thought about that.
Including the bank that owns the mortgage, and I would do that because, see, it's already too late. If they've already got your place, they foreclosed, they had some shenanigans going on in their court, you can do the conditional acceptance on it, but I'd also do the W-4.
On the
that
case.
gets the IRS. That gets the IRS looking into what it is that they did that was fraudulent in the foreclosure process.
Okay, then I would do it.
I would do a W-4.
Then I would also do it on the Washington Eastern District Court that Chase they tried to transfer the case, but they didn't have one point in which they had a right for that district court to accept the transfer, but he did it anyway, and I called him on it, and I still got denied. So there's so many frauds in it, Chris, so I would do it on both courts, but I don't consider my house lost because the party that's there, they only got it on a foreclosure commissioner's deed. There's no protection in that thing at all. I've read it.
Yeah.
So, is there a way I can get my home back that you can think of?
I would do it through the W-4. I don't know if it's already changed hands. You may not be able to get the house back, but you may be able to get the money. What happens when you do the W-4 process is you're making the if it's a court case, you're making the court or the courts that handle that case, they're making money on your Social Security. They're charging your trust
right.
foreclosure. So when you do this, you can you put down the court or the mortgage company.
Or
I do
both.
one on each. I do one on the court and I do one on the mortgage company.
Yeah, I would. I would do it.
You're making them your employer. Okay. By doing that, you it's like you were working for them and they paid you, but you don't know how much they paid you, so you're filing it as income with the IRS, and now the IRS is going to audit the mortgage company or the court. When I say court, y'all, I say it because that's what everybody's so used to saying or used to hearing. You're making them the employer who didn't disclose to you what they're supposed to pay. So they're going to audit the court. They're going to audit the mortgage company. They're going to say, look, this person here, Granny here is claiming that some bonds are created, an account was accessed, and she doesn't know how much money was made on that. So we have to audit you so we can find out how much it was and get our part and she gets hers. That's the W-4 process, it works a lot faster than the conditional acceptance. The conditional acceptance isn't going to get your house back. The conditional acceptance didn't get my $172,000 in child support back, but it did get me $4 million from my ex-wife. It did get me $4 million from the Director of the Department of Human Services. It did get me $4 million from the Department of Human Services. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like
way back more from it in with the conditional acceptance. But the W-4 process may actually get you back the money you deserve, the money that they took.
Okay, so can I do both? Why can't I do both?
Yeah, you can do both.
Yeah, I would.
You can
and
definitely do both.
Okay, and the people that are living there, I don't want to hurt them because they're as ignorant as everybody else is, and but we did a whole lot, and that was my retirement haven. We planted everything organic. We did everything on that little 3/5 acres, and we were living off of our own organic orchard and gardens and berries and bushes, orchard that we planted. So, but the people that are there, I want to. If I want to do my W-4, my conditional acceptance, and then I want to show them. Then I want to show them how to do it because they would be flooded.
Yeah, well, you can go over and do that if you want, but they're not going to be hurt by what you're doing.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand you. You're breaking up a little bit.
They're not going to be hurt by what you are doing. You hear me?
Yeah, I understand that. But they're going to be hurt eventually by what they did, because what they got into is it's no help at all. I already had the land patent on it, So I've got to go. I can go through that process too.
Well, show them how to get even. Show them how to get even.
So we got some more people waiting.
Okay, but wait a minute. I have another quick question or so.
Quickly, please.
When I went to the Social Security office last year to ask for a monthly increase in the Social Security, he said that the man that I talked to, that I was finally sent to, he said that they can't give me the increase. I have to go through this form, et cetera, et cetera. And I said, well, I want to talk to your supervisor. And so he went to the supervisor. He came back, said the supervisor can't talk to you right now, blah, blah, blah. I said, are you the trustee? Are you a trustee? And he said, yes, I am. And I said, and you're telling me I'm the beneficiary, and you're telling me that you can't help me and you can't do anything? And he said, yes, you have to fill out that form, and that's how it's done. And this
your mouth.
Pardon?
When your mouth feeds in an office. I'm going to the federal court now. I'm going to the federal.
I told him, I said, you're derelict. I said, you're derelict in your trustee duty. But I didn't know enough to do that. I couldn't get anywhere else right then. But I've got these forms, and anyway, you can tell me on that. I also quickly here.
We can talk about that all later. I'll call you in the next couple of days. I may be able to call you tomorrow night. It depends on how long we're going to be at Dollywood. We're going to be at Dollywood tomorrow. It's opening day, so gotta go get it. I'll try and call you tomorrow night. If not, I'll get a hold of you Saturday. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
So.
Okay. Thank you.
So on something that you were asking, I want to know if the GAAP applies. Something that you were talking about with somebody else about
talk to them about it later. We have people that are waiting. Thank you very much.
We'll talk about it later, all right?
330 area code. Go ahead.
What's up, everybody? Howdy.
Hey there.
Quick question. Do I need to do a Form 56 and 2848 before I can do anything with the 1099As, or is that just pertain to the contract with the Treasury?
I don't think you have to do it with the 56 with anything. Or wait a minute. You don't have to do that because they already are.
They're okay. They're all.
But the 8281, you do. That has to go with anything you do with OID. That has to go along with the OID. But if you're doing a contract with the Treasury, that doesn't have an OID involved, then you don't need either one of those. Now the Treasury, Janet Yellen is a trustee just by default, by being the Secretary of the Treasury. She already knows that if she's dealing with you. Go ahead.
What's the 2848 then for? That doesn't designate the power of attorney?
They don't need power of attorney. They're already your trustee.
Okay, gotcha. I'll move on to the next.
If you're doing a contract with the Treasury, you don't need either of those forms because they already know. They already have power of attorney when you create a contract. You're saying, here, if this is all yours, you collect it, you get 35%. You give them your power of attorney to do that.
Gotcha.
So there's no need for all that other stuff. I know people do the 56 on judges and stuff, but they already know. You go in there and say, look, if you're playing the game with them, is my Social Security number used on any of your documents here? Well, yeah. You know it is because they got to have your Social Security number to create the payment bonds or judicial bonds. How are they doing it? They already know they're a trustee. And that's what the 56 does. It notifies them that they're a trustee. If I'm going to be your trustee and do you're going to give me your 1099-A, I don't need you to 56 because I already know that I am.
Right, by proxy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gotcha.
By you handing me the 1099-A with your Social Security number on it, I've already been noticed I'm a trustee when I accepted it.
Okay. Next one is trademarks, copyrighting our name. Should this be done in common law, or because there's actually two? I guess you can do it in common law or on the government side, or do it both.
Common law is the only law that I even recognize.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
If I was a United States citizen, I might do the other things, but I'm not.
Okay. Next quick one is when doing the what is it here? Let me get my glasses. Sorry. When doing the W-8-BEN, the revocation of election to pay income tax, does that hinder working with the contract with the Treasury or like even any kind of banking, considering that the IRS is still going to get their kind of tax, I guess? Okay.
They're going to get that from the trust. They're going to get that from the trust. This whole thing is a separation, y'all. I'm not the trust. I'm not a taxpayer. So taxes are due? The taxes are due from the trust. Go get them. What do I care?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm
yes,
just a
sir.
beneficiary, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. I listen heavily, man. The beneficiary is like, it's pounded in my brain. Another quick one here. I was for talking about the collection agency, why don't we learn some of their rules and how they're able to get in, sneak in some of this, and maybe for the do like a hire our thug session, like how they do in-house, like seizing people's shit. We can go in and seize their stuff.
Yeah.
And
I just ignore them. I don't really ignore them. I actually question them. I go to questioning them, and I never contract. I never answer any of their questions.
Right.
If it does, it's just an identification question. Are you Christopher Allen Hauser? No, my name is Christopher Allen. My family name is Hauser. How can I help you?
Okay.
Well, I'm talking to Christopher Allen Hauser. No, you're not. You're speaking with Christopher Allen. My family name is Hauser. Because they want you to say you're Christopher Allen Hauser. Because then you're answering as if you are the trust.
Right. Now somebody's sending me the text. They're sending me text now, and it says I can stop on it, but I don't even want to interact with it. I actually wanted them to call me.
Yeah, they'll they
call me back.
The most important thing to do is the one thing I would suggest everybody do is read the Free Credit Reporting Act. There's stuff in there that will blow you guys away. How to deal with all of that stuff. As far as credit, third-party debt collectors, I always go, do I have a contract with you? Do you have a contract with my wet signature on you? Did I give you permission to assume this debt? Well, no. Well, then you assumed it for me. Thanks a lot for paying my bill. Give me your name and your address so I can send you a Christmas card every year. Thanks, buddy. You know what I mean? That's how I do it. They don't call me. I deal with them one time, man. They never call me. And then, like I said, if you have a bill and they sell it to a third-party debt collector, well, they write that off at the end of the year.
Right, already paid taxes on it.
When January 1st comes around, that's not even a debt anymore. They write that off, and so they got paid. They got paid in tax credits They got that money back tax credit. You really don't owe it. But as far as credit, if you read if anybody's got anything bad on the credit report, all you got to do is write them a letter. It talks about it. It talks about it in the Free Credit Report Act. That you can write the credit bureau and dispute the debt. This Capital One, this American Express account, and then put the account number down. This isn't my debt. That's all you got to say. This isn't my debt. I don't owe this debt. As soon as you dispute it, it comes off your report. And then one credit bureau shares it with the others, in most cases. And they take it off. And it has to be taken off until the so-called creditor can prove that you owe them money. And how can they do that when they loaned you your money? How can they do that when federal law says they can't loan you their money? Are you saying you violated a federal law and loaned me your own money? They know that they can't argue this, so they never do. So it goes off your report and never comes back on again. Isn't that crazy?
Yes, it is. That is, man.
And then
it makes perfect sense.
2 to 3 months later, once you do this, about 2 or 3 months later, you pull up your credit score and it's gone up 100 points. Who wouldn't do it?
I'm going to do it. Last question. Actually, second to last.
My wife has 789 credit score, all because I pay her credit. I pay her cards. She gets credit. I give her the money. She pays it.
Get a bunch of big old loans and pay them off.
Yeah, my credit sucks. And I wrote the bureau. I guess it was probably 3 months ago. My credit don't suck anymore. It's not 700 like my wife's, but it isn't 530 anymore. You know what I mean?
Right. Could we do the last page of the contract for the Treasury in 32-pound paper?
Yeah, if you want to. You don't need to, though. There's regular computer paper.
Okay.
Yeah. If you want to use stuff like that, if you're creating bonds, you guys will get into this when you start banking. Then you'll use you'll actually get bonds. You'll order bond paper to create bonds on. But that's for a later class.
That's what I'm thinking, because I got stacks of notebooks here from you over these, probably this last 5 years. I appreciate your time. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. All right, 860 area code, you're next. 860, go ahead.
Yeah, I was using international promissory notes for a payoff on a mortgage. I sent them out, actually registered mail, receipt requested, and it was during the foreclosure. They received them, and they just ignored that they received them. I actually did 2 of them.
Well, you got proof that they got them, right?
Oh, yeah. I got one better. I brought it into to Wells Fargo Bank, handed it to them, and had them sign that they received it. So I have 3 of them.
Yeah. When you do that to a financial institution, you send it certified mail, return receipt, and I think you can also send it like you did. And when they get that, they actually have to put that in the vault. They have to lock that up. The minute that they lock that up, they're in agreement that it is. The negotiable.
They never responded. They never returned anything. Completely.
Yeah. I guarantee you they used it. I'd go back down there and say, where is it? If you're going to ignore it, when I got confirmation you received it, and you're not, where is it? Mm-hmm. If they can't produce it, then they actually cashed it out or deposited it.
Oh, sure they did. They cashed it out of the Cestui Que account.
Yeah.
Not only that, they completed the foreclosure. Then I notified the police department that they were evicting my wife, ejecting, I think they used, and I had a Mexican corporation that had the address there, so they evicted that. I never got papers, and my two kids never got them, so I notified the police. They ignored what I said. They were more interested in how I was going to protect the property. And I says, why should I have to protect it? You don't have my name anywhere. I says, it's not on any of the paperwork. There's no military affidavit on file. And they came the next day, and they came with 5 cruisers. The sheriff tried to push me out of the way. I said, you're trespassing. I told the cop, he's trespassing. I said, you have no paperwork to show that you have the right to evict me, eject me, or anything else. And I says, I'm on the court record, so they can't say that they don't know I'm here. And they just ignored everything. They put their hands on their guns, and they said, we can do it the easy way or the hard way. And my kids got scared, and they rounded me up on the side of the driveway and wouldn't let me pursue anything. So they just took all of my stuff out, threw it out in the front yard. And that was the end of it.
Yeah, I'm probably going to state police.
Well,
if you guys don't get in the next 20 minutes, you can have a dead fucking sheriff on your hands.
Well, there's no sheriffs really in Connecticut. They call them marshals, I think.
Yeah.
They work for the bank. They don't work for anybody.
Yeah.
I notified the town manager the next day. I says, show me the paperwork where you had your police come and threw me out. Show me where you have the paperwork that you have the authority. Well, they called the court, and the court authorized it. I said, what? I said, the court authorized what? I said, who'd they talk to? The secretary, the sweeper, who? And I had them take the papers, and they come out, and I was on the paper to be thrown out.
Mm.
So I said, you might get away with it for now. I said, but when I get good and ready, I'm going to round you all up, and you're going to owe me a lot of money.
Yeah. That's crazy. They do whatever they want, man.
I know.
They do whatever they want.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So does that address?
That was one of the. Well, that was one of them. The other one is how do you handle property tax?
How do you handle it?
Yeah, 1099-A.
You sell that property. You sell that, like I did in the first video. You sell that property to somebody you trust. You sell it in a bill of sale, a land bill of sale, or a property bill of sale for 21 silver dollars. Then when you get the tax bill the next year, you go down there with your contract, say, I don't own this. I didn't own it all last year. You can't make me pay taxes on a piece of land I don't own. And as soon as they got that straight, you turn around within the next 6 months or so, and you have your friend sell it back to you. Then neither one of you have registered a deed. The only way you have to pay land taxes, y'all, is if you've taken that deed down there and you registered it.
Well, we don't do that. The attorneys do it. The attorneys go down and they record it after closing. The people don't.
That's what I'm saying. If I own a piece of property and I sell it to you for $21 silver, you now own it. You constitutionally own it. So when I get the tax bill next year, I go down there and say, look, I got a contract right here. I sold this. This is a constitutional contract. We use constitutional money. I sold this to him. You never get the deed. You never go register a deed. What do you need a deed for? You got a bill of sale.
Okay, so once you file a bill
here, pardon me. You all see where this is going. If I sell my property to you, you own it. Okay? So when I get a tax bill, I go down and say, I don't own this property anymore. This guy does. Well, this guy needs to register his deed. That's not my freaking job to tell him to register his deed.
Yep.
Then I go back to you, and I say, okay, I did my deal. They know I don't own it anymore. Now you sell it back to me. They're still not going to know that I own this because they're never going to get you. All you are is a name on a piece of paper. No freaking address, no social security number, no birthday. That's how you guys do it. It's freaking simple, man.
Well,
Article 1, Section 10. Article 1, Section 10 of the Constitution will explain to you what I just did.
Because the bill comes in the last name, and then they put a comma, and then they put the family name, then they put a comma, and then they put your first name and your middle name all in caps.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was wondering why
that's not going to matter in a year from now when I've sold this to you. Or when you sold it to me, okay? You're going to sell it to me. And then next year, when you get the tax bill, you're going to go, I don't own this anymore. This guy, Christopher Hauser, owns it. Well, you need to tell him to come register his deed. No, hell no. He's not going to register no damn deed. Why would he want to give you a property he bought with constitutional money? Yeah, you need to tell him to come down and do it. And then you walk out. You're not paying that bill. And then I'm going to sell it back to you after you've gone down there and done that whole thing. I just recently did this with 110 acres. I own 110 acres here in the mountains. And it's a friend of mine who trusts me. Sold it to me for five $20 gold pieces. $100 in gold. In gold coinage. Next year, I will sell it back to him for the same amount. Once he goes down there, I don't own this anymore, Christopher Hauser does. Well, tell him he needs to come up, pay his taxes, register deed, pay his taxes. I don't think he's going to do that. I'll tell him.
So I already did that with one piece of property, and I used the silver.
Yeah.
It got recorded again.
You already sold it, and they
I sold it.
Who recorded it?
Yeah, it got recorded though.
Why'd you record it?
Yeah, because I was stupid then.
Yeah.
I didn't think anything had to be recorded.
A contract has to have two signatures on it, mine and yours. It ain't nobody else's damn business. That's our contract. Right?
Well,
Michael. Michael.
Yeah, because a deed doesn't have deeds only.
My friend Michael that was in prison with me and was on the show a couple of weeks ago. He bought a piece of land from the county. he bought a piece of land that was repossessed by the county for them not paying the taxes, 5.5 acres.
Mm-hmm.
He bought it from the county attorney, and then he never went and registered the deed. He bought it from the county, never registered the deed, and then we got hit in 2017. It wasn't until about a month after he was paroled that Jeffrey Green, the county attorney, sent him a letter saying he needed to come down and register the deed. Not you owe six years of back taxes. Come down and register the deed. He said, you need to come register the deed. He hasn't got a tax bill. Why did he not get a tax bill? Because he never registered the deed. That's proof right there, man. This dude hasn't paid taxes since 2016. Since he bought the land in 2016. That's proof right there that you don't have to pay freaking land taxes if you're not registering the deed. To register means to prepare security for sale to the government, sale to the people. Right? Don't sell it to the government. Don't register your car. And then you'll be wondering why the cops aren't towing it away when they take you out of it.
So
leaving it on the side of the road.
So we got someone else that's been waiting all night.
Okay.
All right. So thank you very much. Okay, 570 area code. You're next.
Yeah, you guys are a wealth of knowledge. Thanks to you for everything you do. First of all, you guys said something last week about, or 2 weeks ago, about an identity card with the QR code and a DOT registry.
Yeah.
What's that guy's name again?
His name is Wesley Mullins.
Wesley?
Yeah, why don't you contact me? I'll be working with him soon.
Yeah, I would love to. I tried to look him up and I couldn't get him. So my name is TJ, and I'll try to send something to you. What's your email, Tad?
Just go to the website, youhavetheright.com, and contact me through the contact link.
Okay. My most important question is, you made a comment tonight, and you learned so much by listening to you guys and by using it. What do you feel, what's the difference between a beneficiary signature versus the authorized representative? Sounds like you don't like the authorized representative. Say what?
Here's how I used to write authorized representative. Christopher A. Hauser. Okay?
Okay.
Like everybody does. Been signing your whole life. My beneficiary signature is Christopher A. Hauser, beneficiary.
Right, but when do you use them? When do you use a beneficiary and when do you use the authorized rep?
I use beneficiary signature on everything, except for birthday cards.
Okay.
And you don't have to write beneficiary out. You can just write BENE .
Okay.
Because damn near everything you're going to sign your name to has the Social Security number either on it or attached to it.
Okay. Now, can you use the beneficiary with the authorized rep underneath it?
I wouldn't. The only time I would do that, the only time I would use the different signatures is if I had a title to a car and I was using the back of it. As the buyer, I would use the authorized representative. I would put the name in all caps, and then I would sign it Christopher A. Hauser. And then I put 21 silver dollars, and then the buyer name, I would put Christopher Allen Hauser, beneficiary. And then I would sign it that way. I just took myself as the authorized representative to own the car flat out. That's why I got a title. And I just sold it to the beneficiary. That's about the only time I could ever think of using both the signatures at the same time.
Is there anywhere I can go for more information on that?
Not really. It's pretty simple. Look at the back of the title, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. The seller is the authorized representative, and the buyer is the beneficiary.
So when I sending letters out for accepting notice of acceptance with bank loans, mortgages, IRS, I shouldn't put authorized rep. I should just put beneficiary.
No, I always sign beneficiary. That's all commerce. Anything you work in commerce, you want to use your beneficiary signature on.
Okay.
When you do a conditional acceptance, your Social Security number is going to be on it. You most definitely want to sign a beneficiary. Even under the signature line, last page, you're going to want to spell it out. You want to type it out underneath the signature line, beneficiary.
Okay. Yeah, you guys had a big night tonight. I'll just let that go. But yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Chris, I think we're going to call it an evening.
All right. Jenny, I'll call you soon. I'll call you in the next couple of days. Well, I'll get all your questions out for you.
All right, everybody, if you would please go to youhavetheright.com, join our mailing list, and also consider joining our monthly membership. That would be greatly appreciated. And let people know about these calls. And we appreciate you coming tonight. And we will see you again next week. Bye-bye.